Hi, I'm Christy with B2K Solutions, and today's tip is for any of you that have wanted to get information from little kids. What do they know? What do they like? What are they thinking? And you want to do it in such a way that's much more familiar, much more engaging, and not about asking tons of questions and drilling the kid. So way back many years ago when I started working with young children, I had a professor that taught me some really easy to use tips that I've used all my career with little kids. And the first one was be quiet. Now, some would argue I haven't quite learned that tip yet, but it's something that is a beautiful strategy that we sort of forget about because we want to know an answer. We want to know, what color is this? Do you have this many of certain items? Can you help me with that? What's your name? What's your age? All these things. And we sort of forget that just being present, just being quiet, just being like anticipatory, right? Just like looking expectant, like I'm waiting for you to tell me something amazing. So that notion of just being quiet, being present, being next to the kid and sort of awaiting, maybe making a quizzical look, withholding an object just for a moment to see if you can get more of an expression from the kid. Just a sort of very easy, gentle way to get information that is sort of in conflict with what we think we need to do, which is ask questions, make a direction, and so forth. So the first tip, first idea is to say nothing. But you're there, you're engaged, you're imitating the child maybe in lots of nonverbal ways, and all of your nonverbal expressions are saying, I'm listening, I'm here, I'm waiting for you to share what you know and can do with me. The other tip is what many of us in early childhood now know or label as self-talk or parallel talk. But many, many years ago when I was first learning to work with young children, it was sort of this very basic, describe what you see the kid doing. Don't ask a question about what color it is or what size or what shape or how many, but rather just simply describe. Describe their actions, describe their thoughts even, describe their expressions. And so this has evolved into some work that many of us know in terms of parallel talk, where we're really describing the actions of children. We might be describing, again, their feelings or what they might be wondering just based upon their nonverbal. So they look like they're confused. So we might say something that talks about, how they're thinking or what they're thinking about doing next. Something that's very similar to parallel talk is something called self-talk. And this is where we talk about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing, what we're anticipating, what we're wondering about. The kicker is, when it comes to self-talk, only yourself likes to hear yourself talk. So kids might not be that interested in what we're thinking and what we're doing and what we're hypothesizing. That said, we tend to be the expert in the dynamic, right? So if I'm working with a 3-year-old, I should have more skills than them. I should have more experiences, more ideas, a larger vocabulary, more technical vocabulary. So by engaging in self-talk, I therefore encourage the child to also think strategically or think differently or to even think about what they're thinking about. So that metacognition. But the idea is that we kind of move in these hierarchies. We just sort of think about, I want this answer, I want this information. So we start with like this highest end, which might be about asking the question, asking the most direct route to the answer. So if we kind of back off a little bit and we can't be quiet, then we might try something about self-talk, something that really describes what we're thinking, what we're doing. So we would count. We would say the color of something. We would say what something has in terms of a shape. And this would prompt or suggest to the child that they too could label a color, a shape, a size. One step even further is to say something just where I describe what the kid is, what they're already engaged in, what they're already drawn to, interested in. So I don't want to think about colors as a little kid if I'm too busy stacking. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get all of these blocks to stay in a tower and not fall over. I really don't care that this one's red, this one's green, this one's red, and this one's green, right? I'm really thinking about the stack and the tower. So by using parallel talk as an adult, I'm going to come into their play and I'm going to talk about what they're engaged in, what they're excited about. So they're excited about making their tower bigger and trying to figure out ways to not make it fall over, or they're trying to decide which block to put on next. So I'm really describing their actions, their feelings, their ideas because they're most interesting and relevant to them. And then if I back off even further, if I can get there, it's just to be quiet. just to be present, just to let them know that I am a partner that is ready to be a conversationalist. I'm ready to help them. I'm ready to be a play partner without having to ask them questions. So again, if you want to know what kids know, the best thing to do is to sit, be quiet, and they'll let you know.